Hi, I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to paint a Swedish Dala horse. Well, this is not a Swedish Dala horse, you may say. Of course it isn't, I know that. But I couldn't find one to paint, so I went to my local craft store and this is what I found. It's a paper mache one, super light, and it didn't cost that much money, so I'm going to just have to make do with this. While I was setting up for today, I realized that I could have just cut out the shape of a Swedish Dala horse out of a thick piece of wood, and that would have worked great and it would have stood up, but I didn't think of that until now. So if you want to paint a Swedish Dala horse with me, go grab a shape or cut one out of wood and gather your supplies. I'll let you know what you need. The first thing that you need to gather, of course, is your horse. And you will need some paint. I have a bunch of these little craft paints that are acrylic craft paints. I find that they work really well, although some of them are a little bit runnier than others. So if you're painting details, the paint might run down if it's not thick enough. I have a huge bag full of a bunch of different colors because I haven't yet decided what color I'm going to make it. I'm going to literally make this as we go. I am not going to plan this, which is unusual for me because I like to plan things, but I find that for some of my projects, I like to do things on the fly and not be so perfectionistic about it. So, the other thing you'll need, of course, is a glass of water to rinse your brushes out with. You'll need some paint brushes. I have a large one to paint the base coat on with, and several detail brushes. I have here some paper towels to wipe my brushes out on, and I have this special paint squeezer liner. I bought it in a set of 3 applicators, and it has a needle stuck into the top to keep it from clogging. And I've used this before on the video that I made on painting candles, and it works really, really well. But the only issue that I had with that is that when I used paint that was a little bit runnier, the paint dripped a little bit on some of the candles and some of the paint didn't. So that's just something that I have to watch for if I use this. I also have my handy dandy plastic bag that I use as a table liner so that I don't get my table dirty. And I have a dinner plate that I put saran wrap on. When I work with acrylic paints, I don't want to wash this down our sink, so I tend to just put saran wrap on a plate. That way I can wrap it up and throw it away. The other thing I have here is some acrylic, golden acrylic gold paint. I have some like Deco Art gold paint in this selection in this bag. However, sometimes that gold paint is a little bit runnier, and so I'm getting this just in case I need something that's thicker, a little bit more sturdy. And the last thing that you will need is your cup of tea, because this might take a little bit of while, and a chocolate. I'm going to start with the chocolate. You don't have to watch me eat this. So the first thing you want to do is to lay out your plastic liner on your desk so that you don't get your lovely desk all dirty. I'm going to turn it around the other way. You want to smooth it all out. This is kind of sticking out over there. Okay. And I'm going to get my paint, my horse, paint brushes, and I'm going to start looking through these colors and select what color I want the base coat to be. My water. I need to put my water here. So let's dump this out, and then I'm like, okay, this is a lot of paint, but I have a lot more than this, but these are just some that were set aside in a bag. I like this. All right, I might do the base coat with this pink. Swedish horses are normally white, red, or kind of a royal blue like this, but I don't want to go with the traditional because I'm not going to copy any designs that I've seen. I want to just create my own sort of design, so I'm going to be completely creative and just do it any way I want to. This is also a nice color. I like this salmon pink. This one might be a little bit too baby pink. I'm not sure. All right, we're gonna sort. I'm gonna put pinks and reds over here. You can also use squeeze paint like this that have the applicator tips. Okay, of all the colors, I'm interested. Let me look at this pink here. That is beautiful. It's a blush pink, and this pink is, there's a skin on the top, but underneath it's fine. This one is a very pastel-y pink, baby pink. I'm gonna go with this one. Instead of squirting it on the plate, I actually think I'm going to squirt it right here on the horse and paint from here. I'm not even going to wet my brush because it doesn't need to be wet. I'm wondering how opaque this paint is, whether it's going to cover up well or whether I'm going to need a second coat. I have no idea. I also wonder how much paint I'm going to get on my hands if I do this, when I have to hold it at the bottom. Maybe I should paint, I think I should paint the bottoms right now. That way it can have a chance to dry while I paint the rest. This looks almost like the same color as the brown, it's slightly different. I'm going to see whether I want to mix these two colors. Let's see what happens when I put this on now, because I can always cover it up. Yeah, that's much brighter. I think I'm going to go with one coat of this and then one coat of the other. I just want to have a bright underlying color. So let's start this again. So watch the lines that you're leaving with your brush strokes because you'll see them. I like some line work. I think some line work looks really attractive. Plus this paper mache has a lot of texture to it. The first coat. I finished that. Now we need to let this dry and I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to get started on the second coat, and this time I want to mix these two colors. It's pretty similar, but it'll just tone it down a wee bit. And I don't even mind if it's not fully mixed because I like a little bit of painterly look with different colors. Now this is quite thick on my paintbrush, so I'm going to just put a lot of paint here and smooth it out because there's so much on my brush. So much paint. I really didn't need that much. I might have to put it in a little jar. This is ready to dry again. Last time I literally gave it 10 minutes. This time I'm going to set a timer for 15, and then I'll check it. Okay, both of these coats have dried now and it's time to add decorations. I'm really excited about this. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing, but let's just do it. I hope you have a horse too and that you're painting along with me. I'm going to put on a little bit of music and we can just enjoy a nice relaxing evening painting our horses. During the break, I selected the colors that I'm going to work with, or at least the colors that I think I'm going to work with. I have 4 midtones here, one a little bit darker or brighter, and I'm not really sure exactly where I'm going to put them. And I've got a dark brown instead of black for the eyes. I might want to get a black out. I have a metallic pewter as an accent color, and I have set this aside just in case I want to add a little bit of this green color. I'm not really sure if I'm going to yet, but let's just get started. So the first thing that you want to paint will be the mane and the saddle, because that's a big block of color and that needs to dry first before you add all the details, and then you won't have to sit there waiting for things to dry. So I'm going to do that now. I want it to be yellow ochre. I also changed the saran wrap on my plate because I had so much of the pink paint on it that it would have gotten in the way. How this paint works. First thing is the mane. Notice there's some hair coming down on this side and this side as well. So looks. Dry, and after that I don't think we'll have to pause anymore. We can just put all the details on. My hand is a little bit shaky because I recently was diagnosed with hyperthyroiditis, which is transitory, so it should go away, and it is getting a little bit better, but my hand shakes. Makes it hard. My Dala horse has dried. I've got dinner in the oven, and I think that I'm not going to add any more details. I had thought that I would add some gold, but you know what? I don't think it needs it. And I also ended up not using this liner pin, so I didn't need it. The paintbrushes work just fine. I think this would be a great project for your kids to do. You could get them each one of these paper mache horses and they could just have at it and have a lot of fun. It's a great holiday craft to make, and it doesn't take that long. All in all, it took probably about 40 minutes to paint. That's not including the 10 minutes that I kept taking breaks to let things dry. But it's a really fun holiday project. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you made something, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to know what you painted. Maybe you found a different figure like a bird or a teddy bear or something different to paint, but I might put this out on display for my Christmas holiday decorations. I'm not sure yet, but I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. I'll go and make some art today.